Well, it's been almost 2 months, but at long last, we're back to driver career. What's going on, everybody? Zach RC here, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode number 21 of the F1 2021 driver career series for the Hungarian Grand Prix, round number 9 of the championship. I'm sorry I haven't made one of these videos for almost 2 months, but I've just had other stuff that I need to be doing, and other videos I wanted to make, but we're back with it now. We're going to have a blast with this Alpine team once again, so let's jump right into the race weekend and get this thing going. Alright, so here we are then in the workstation, getting ready for first practice for this Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm really looking forward to this because, like I said, it's been almost 2 months since I actually did one of these. But we're going to try and get back in the swing of things and try and finish this season off definitely within the next month or two. So we've got the emails coming out as usual, the weekend preview from Ethan, as well as the development updates. 3 of our 4 upgrades have succeeded, but one of the aero ones has failed, so we have to get back on that. And the weather forecast looks to be all good for the race itself. No sign of rain, so we're going to jump right into quick practice as we always do. So first up, I would go with race strategy. If we can, we make a change. No, we're all good. Try for this 50% one for a weight distribution upgrade, but it's failed though, so that's a poor start to the session because we've only got half an hour. So try for this 17-minute 51 to at least get one under our belt for the end of the session. So that's all we can do. Could try and go for one, have a look around, see if there's anything else we can do. No, nothing there. So we have to wait until practice 2 to have another go and see if we can get something out of one of the other ones. So have a look at qualifying pace now. Good start there with a quick 7-minute 50 program to get us 100 resource points, and then energy recovery system upgrade on the powertrain front. All good there. We'll try and get some more resource points on the board. Objective complete, that's 3, and we could go for 4 here with another engine powertrain upgrade, or at least a development discount. So that's all good. We've got 4 out of 5 there, so that definitely makes up for the shambles. That was practice 1. Moving into practice 3 now. Gonna have a look at the ERS management stuff. Another 100% and success 1, so we're gonna go for that. And a very nice 70% chance here for ultimate energy usage. That's another 100 resource points on the board, and another ERS powertrain discount. All good there. I don't think we have enough time to go for any more. I'm going to try see if we've got anything else in the way of race strategy. Nothing. We're going to try and go for one more on qualifying pace if we can for this last ERS upgrade. So we're going to see if we can get that. And it's failed, so we came very close to getting all 5 on that front, but unfortunately it's going to be just 1 on race strategy, 4 on qualifying pace, and 3 on ERS management. And all in all, not too bad. We've got a total of 1,000 resource points combined between myself and Fernando, so that's almost 2k in the bank for us there. I mean, we got a few development boosts which should help us over time with discount on some of these upgrades, but in particular the powertrain ones. And yeah, things are looking good on that front. And we'll have a look at our driver acclaim, which has gone all the way up now into level 8, so that's always good. So we're going to keep on moving through here. I don't think we really have much to do. We started a new rivalry with Fernando Alonso though, so he's just going to be trying to beat him. So without further ado, let's jump right into the race, and hopefully it'll be a really exciting one.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of the Formula One World Championship. We don't expect too many retirements at this track. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher. He made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. We're northeast of Budapest for the race today at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring circuit. 14 corners here, 8 to the right and 6 to the left, on a track where downforce is king and passing is notoriously difficult. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas and Sainz, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, Cohen, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Ricciardo. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Nicholas Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. Russell, they've taken a grid penalty. And Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
after the points finish last race. Let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So here we go then for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix from P11 on the grid. We're going to make a quick change to strategy if we can. We might try and keep it how it is. Actually, we're going to try and go for a lap longer on the soft tyres if we can. So we'll go to lap 7 and we'll run the mediums for 11 laps to the end. Here we go now for 5 red lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Our return to driver career about to get underway. The lights are out and away we go. And it's a really good start. They're getting a great jump on Vettel on the right hand side. That us quick difference P10. We can try and go for one of our signature dives on the way down to that first corner. Try and pick up a few more places into turn when we go on the inside of Sainz and almost on the inside of Bottas. We chose to back out of it there. On the inside of both Sainz and Gasly have managed to get away from them both. So what a start here. Up into P7. We could potentially try and take Bottas. We're going to dive inside of him. And that's us up into P6. So that's 5 places gained in the opening few corners. What a start to this Hungarian Grand Prix. And Lando Norris is our next target if he matches away from us. Bottas and Sainz are quickly dropping back. They're already over half a second behind. We're going a bit wide there through that last corner. Didn't hit the apex as much as I hoped we would. So going through this next right hand here, we've got to be very careful on that curve throughout the race, because if we get too far onto it, we'll spin out, and we don't want that to happen. Still running single file here just behind Norris, and Bottas has now worked his back up in front of Sainz, so he'll be trying to challenge us as we head on further into the lap and further into the race. So Norris is getting away here, about half a second in front, and Verstappen's just ahead of him, so he's got some work to do in order to get back up front. I believe it's Hamilton leading the way, followed closely by Charles Leclerc and then Sergio Perez. So we haven't had too bad a start to us. Not too bad a first lap. 5 places gained. We could try to take Norris, but it just weren't worth the risk. We go way too deep into the corner there. Thankfully, we don't overshoot it, so we're all good there. So we'll keep on our line. Bottas is right there behind us. We have to be very careful making our way around this last corner. He'll definitely want to try and have a go at us on the exit of this last corner. I don't think he's close enough to have a really good go at us straight away, but he's definitely going to close in here. And we look at the championship standings now. We are inside the top 10. If things stay the same, we will pass Yuki Tsunoda in the Drivers' Championship, and that's what we want to happen. So moving further on now to the end of the second lap, coming around the last corner and go way wide there. Bottas is still there behind us as Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Bottas is right there. He's got DRS, he won't be using it yet. We've still got enough to save power on that right hand side to try and take the place away from us into turn 1. We can overshoot the corner and go a bit wide there. Just giving Bottas the space. We go wide on exit as well, so Bottas moves up into P6, gets the job done. Easy work for him. We try and dive back inside if we can, but it's just not worth the risk. We could almost go on the grass there, so we have to be very careful when Bottas gets away from us for the time being. We're now to contend with Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari behind us. And pushing on now to the start of lap number 4, holding off Sainz. Bottas is quite well up the road already. We've got a yellow flag in front of us. I think that's for Bottas as well, so he's pulling over to the side, and there goes a lot of smoke out of the side of the Mercedes, and just like that, Bottas out of the Grand Prix, and there it is confirmed at the top of your screen. Valtteri Bottas is out of the session. That puts us back up into P6. Sainz is behind us, and Gasly's about a second behind him. So it looks like it's just us and the Ferrari at this point, but he's going to have DRS on us down this next straight as we begin lap number 5 of this Grand Prix. Sainz on the left, we're going to force him a bit close to the edge of the track. We've got the inside line into turn number 1, but Sainz does a very good switch back on us there. There's a bit of contact there, so we didn't get as much of a run as he would have liked, but he's still going to have the DRS. But will he try and go for the outside? Nope, he moves back into line. We go a bit wide though, so that's going to allow Sainz in. We just about forced him. He has just enough room to try and squeeze in, but we go around on the inside and he has to fall back. So that's us holding on to P6 for the time being. Moving on to lap 7 now. A couple of the guys in front of us in pits are up into P4 for the time being. We're going to come in for our first and only stop of the Grand Prix, because not much happened in the battle between us and Sainz. So into the pits we come now. I think we should be okay for a good change to the mediums. We've got Tsunoda and Stroll both coming in behind us. Hopefully they won't hold us up. Stroll will be coming in behind us, but Tsunoda will be in front of us, so it may all come down to timing. But there goes the Japanese driver through and past us, and we'll get back past him. No hold it up there. 3.0 second pit stop, not too good if we're being entirely honest. Here comes Sainz. Assuming he had a faster pit stop, he's made his way through and he's up into P8. And there goes Gasly on the outside as well. We're going to try and dive in there. There's a bit of contact, but we had the room to try and sneak in, and we did just that. So we're now into P9. So we have lost out in this pit stop phase, which is disappointing, but we're still up there in the points, not doing too bad. As we move on to start lap number 9, now the last few drivers to pit, Vettel and Giovinazzi making their way out. We just about beat Vettel out of the pit lane. So we've lost 1 place in these pit stops. We're still in P7 and things are all good. We've got Alonso down there in P9, so it's looking good for Alpine at this point in the race. Pushing on to the start of lap 15, because not much happened during this mid-stage of the race. Have a look at the championship standings once again, and we are still in 10th place, despite losing those extra points when we checked earlier. So we're all good on that front. Vettel was still there in P8, but he's still closing on us, because the gap was 4 seconds at the time before we skipped ahead, and that's now just under 2. So he's definitely closing in on us as we move on towards the end of lap number 16 now. Vettel's almost in DRS range. You go way wide in the penultimate corner. Vettel may have DRS on us, going down onto that main straight to make our way to the last corner, being as close to the barrier as we can without actually hitting it. And out of the corner we come back towards the line. Vettel will be just in DRS range, but I don't think he's close enough for that to be able to have any effect. He's definitely closing us, but he won't be able to go for a move to the inside. So we've got just under 2 laps to go now, and this is the main point of attack for Vettel. So if he can't get us here, then I doubt he will. But it will be alright for just the rest of the race, hopefully. Because if he was to catch up, we could back him up into Alonso and have him a chance to try and take P9. But regardless, we're on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, and Alonso's too far back for us to do anything about that. Vettel didn't have DRS on the way down to turn 1. We overshot the corner though, so he could potentially duck inside and try and gain a bit of time, but he hasn't really gained much. He's within a second now, so we're going to have to be very careful in the way of defensive driving on this last lap. If we make any mistakes, we've gone way wide there through turn 3, and that shouldn't do us very good. There goes Vettel. He's now within half a second. We've gone wide again. Over the curb we come. So Vettel is still red, just like I said, just half a second behind. Alonso is just about a second behind us, and there's another bit of trouble here as we're running slightly in the red on fuel, so there shouldn't be too much stress over whether or not we'll make it. But there's a chance that we run out on the line, and if Vettel's right there behind us, then that won't be good. So we've got to try and build a bit of a gap there. Vettel made a bit of a mistake coming out of those last few corners, so now he's almost a second behind again. So I think we might just be alright for this one. Alonso not being able to make a move on the German, so he'll be staying right behind Vettel, but he'll be staying behind us. Hamilton's won the race for Mercedes, so decent victory for him. He's controlled the race from start to finish. Of course, we could have taken P6 today, but we weren't able to thanks to the slightly slower pit stop. Well, that's something I have to work on. Regardless, it's still a decent haul of points for the team considering our season so far. So on our return to driver career in episode 21, it'll be a decent number of points there. P7, 4 points going towards the championship total. Alonso comes home in P9, so that's 6 points for Alpine today, so definitely not too bad a job. And as we make our way to turn 1 after the race, we've been elected driver of the day, so definitely a welcome return of the series. So Mercedes have taken the victory then. Great victory for them. Hamilton is the winner. Charles Leclerc comes home in second place for Ferrari, and it's Sergio Perez who rounds off the podium. I'm assuming that Verstappen came home in 4th, Norris 5th, Sainz 6th, us in 7th, Vettel 8th, Alonso 9th, and not quite sure if we finished in the top 10. I think it may have been Gasly. We'll have to have a look at the final results here. But Hamilton accepts his trophy, and the celebrations will no doubt begin at Mercedes. They'll be very pleased with what they've done in this Grand Prix. But for us, I think we've still done very well. It's been a very good weekend for Alpine. Double points. It was Lotz. Stroll took the final point away from Yuki Tsunoda, which helps us potentially increase the gap to him in the Drivers' Championship, and that will move us up into 10th place. We'll have a look at the championship in a moment. But yeah, so Lewis wins from Leclerc and Perez. Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race. As you look at the Drivers' Championship, though, Verstappen and Perez still have the edge over Hamilton and Bottas. Verstappen leads by 10 points to Perez. He's definitely closed some points today. And we're up to P10 by 1 point in the Drivers' Championship. So that 1 point was just enough because Yuki Tsunoda finished in 11th. And we still stay 6th in the Constructors' Championship. We're closing in bit by bit on AlphaTauri. So a couple more double points finishes like that, and it'll definitely serve us well for the rest of the season. So far in our rivalry, the first race of the rivalry, we're ahead of Alonso. We've got 6 more races remaining on that front, and we'll be trying to beat him over the next few races, but just be a friendly rivalry for us there. And we've increased our driver acclaim level a bit more. So that's the end of the racing for this episode. So we're gonna go through R&D with the resource points we've earned and just see what we've got. Have a look at this powertrain upgrade. We'll definitely get that going. Yes, I'll take 35 days. That's quite a big upgrade, but I think it'll definitely be worth it. It's a major upgrade. We have fallen back to being the 8th best car on the grid due to upgrades that everyone else has been bringing in. So we are just behind Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, and AlphaTauri as well. So we could potentially be the 5th best car by the end of the season, I reckon, with all the work we're doing. We're going to change up the control electronics as well, because I don't think that will last another race, because it's doing continuous damage to all the rest of our components. So we're going to accelerate forward here and have a look and go into the season break, and that'll be until the 21st of August, and we'll have the Belgian Grand Prix coming up. Not much going on here apart from weekly resources, so we are now ready for the next race weekend when it rolls around. So we are going to have a look if we can get anything more with the resource points that we have earned. So let's take a look in those departments once again. We'll see what we can do. We'll recommend an upgrade here. We're going to go for another powertrain upgrade, which was part of those development boosts that we gained earlier on. So that was 8% off the regular price. So that's all good on that front. But yeah, so we've got a couple more upgrades coming in for the next few races, and that should definitely help us on that front. But you guys, that is the end of the video. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, help us reach 1,000 subscribers as quickly as we can, just because to help the channel grow, and it makes me happier, it makes me want to make more videos for you guys. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the return to driver career, and with that I shall see you in my next video. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.